Vice President Harris tonight is enduring yet another disastrous media blitz after she snapped at a Univision reporter when pressed about a possible border visit. Take a look.
I've said I'm going to go to the border, and
when are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border, and also if we are going to deal with the problems at the border, we have to deal with the problems that cause people to go to the border, to flee to the border.
And as Biden and Harris continue to ignore what is now a full-fledged self-inflicted catastrophe, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is taking action, announcing that Texas will build its own border wall, a wall amid the Biden administration's willful disregard for the rule of law. And get this, we are now learning that the Biden administration has dismantled a Trump-era office that provided assistance to Americans who've been the victim of illegal immigrant crime. Of course, other countries are taking notice of all of this, as officials in Guatemala are hitting Biden for his massive border failures. Investigative reporter Sarah Carter joins us now to explain more. Sarah?
Yes, Judge. I just recently returned from a trip to Guatemala. I've been there actually 4 times over the last 2 years, and I can tell you that they're extraordinarily frustrated with the Biden administration. We saw enormous amounts of poverty. Some areas in Guatemala that used to be bustling towns, now like empty ghost towns, and they're saying, wait, it's not about allocating money for humanitarian crisis that will end up in the hands and pockets of NGOs throughout Guatemala. What we need specifically is a free trade agreement, strong free trade agreement with the United States. Nobody's facing those facts, they said. This is from President Yamate, as well as Congressman Enrique Montano, who spoke with me on my recent trip to Guatemala. Take a listen to this. What needs to happen for both of our nations to reach a point where we put things aside and talk about the reality of what's happening?
Because it's trade, not aid. We don't want handouts. We want the American market to be more open towards us. The quotas that we have in many of our products, which by the way are world-class products, we need more quotas. We need the border to be open, maybe not for our nationals, but for our products. And then you're going to build a strong Guatemalan economy. You know how to help countries economically? Look at Mexico. You had a free trade agreement with them, and you helped Mexico. Again, immigration from Mexican nationals to the United States has dramatically decreased. Our countries have increased, right? So what we're talking about, it's the economy. Help us economically. And the way you help someone economically is through free trade.
Congressman Montano brought up a point that a number of people spoke to me about, from former senior intelligence officials, like I said, all the way to the presidential palace, Judge Jeanine. One of the biggest concerns, they say, is that if we don't build strong economic trade with Guatemala and our other Central American neighbors, the fear is that our adversaries like China and Russia will be encroaching even further into the region, presenting a direct threat in the Western Hemisphere to the United States. So this is far more than a border crisis. It's actually a national security crisis, they say.
All right, Sarah, was there any discussion about Vice President Harris and her trip to Guatemala?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I interviewed Guatemalan President Yamate shortly after Vice President Harris left Guatemala for Mexico City. He said he was very frustrated with the mixed messages. One of the things that he pointed out was the fact that Vice President Harris made a statement not to come to the United States, telling Guatemalans, please stay, do not come to the United States. But he said that message conflicts with the actual policies that the Biden administration has in place, where they're actually allowing people into the country. And I can tell you this, Judge, from being down on the border actually the last several months, I was sitting there watching as smugglers were delivering boatloads and raft loads of people to our National Guard and our Border Patrol. They weren't being arrested. An idea that President Yamate had, and he said he discussed it with Vice President Harris, is that there should be stringent laws against smuggling, and that his country was willing to do that and work with the United States to actually put these people in jail if the U.S. and the Biden administration would be willing to do the same. And that's still left to be said, whether or not the Biden administration will take up Guatemalan President Yamate on his offer.
You know, what's interesting is that Vice President Harris made a statement. She said she believed that people crossing were being turned away. So I can't imagine she was involved in any serious discussions. Anyway, Sarah Carter, always good to see you. Thank you so much.